Hello campers, welcome back to the Casual Car Camper. As always, I'm your host Brian. So earlier this week I tried to do my first unboxing video. My camera died halfway through, so I'm going to insert the video here.
Hello campers, and today we've got some things to unbox. It's all kind of themed with coffee stuff or cooking in general. First I have is a Stanley 2-cup cook set. I bought off of Amazon. Haven't even opened it yet, hence the unboxing. They don't really come in, they just come in a cardboard box, and then the wrap is your box, and they're sealed with a little tape. Inside is an instruction manual on care use. Stanley's pretty standard with their stuff. Most of their thermal stuff, their insulated stuff, is not dishwasher safe. It's hand wash only. A lot of their lids and their cups are going to be dishwasher safe, and these cups here are dishwasher safe. They have it right in the bottom. Stanley's good like that. And then you have a pot. What you do is you put whatever you're cooking in this pot, put it on the fire, and then you have 2 cups. You can make cowboy style coffee in here. You can make some beans, some soup, whatever. I'm probably going to do some chili in the next video and break them out into 2 cups. So that's the first item. Second item here is another Stanley cup. This one here, again, they just kind of shipped in a cardboard box, and I opened it not knowing what was in there. Again, Stanley instructions with care instructions. This is a vacuum sealed container, so it is not dishwasher safe. Hand wash only. They also have in here a recommendation to, every once in a while, if you get staining or flavors you don't like, 2 tablespoons of baking soda in either of these devices left overnight will shine it up and take away those nasty smells. I'm going to take these home and wash them. This Stanley cup is actually a replacement cup from Stanley because the rubber washer on my old one got moldy, and I contacted about buying a new one. They discontinued the cup I had. That was a gift from my late uncle. And they're like, well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. We'll send you out a brand new one. What color would you like? And this is their new model. It's fairly nice. I don't think you can see it on camera, but it's got a nice big lip when you open it, so you don't have to worry about just getting a dribble when you want a nice big gulp of coffee. But also it seals nice and tight, so if you accidentally knock it over, you're not going to have your coffee all over the place. All right. Now for big packages that I did not open. I believe this is a camping coffee maker that you can fit onto a small stove. This is the APG. This is from Wish. I am a big fan of Wish, especially when you're buying.
So as you saw, I got myself a Stanley cup, took it home, cleaned it up. Found out what's really cool about these is they upgraded them quite a bit for cleaning. So now when you clean it, they also really made it so it's spill proof. Oh, it's locking. Yeah, and that's saying it, guys. You can actually, if you play with it a little bit, you can get the rubber seal pretty far down, and you can even take it off for cleaning. I don't take it off every time I clean it, but once in a while it does not hurt to take the seal off and clean it really well. So that was really cool. You also saw me unbox this little camp set, little pot, 2 cups. But what you didn't see me fully unbox because the camera died was this little camping stove pot all in one. The It's kind of nice. It's got little handles on it. It's got a lid, and if you're backpacking, your heater goes inside your pot, and then you just line up the holes on it, twist it, and then what you need is isobutane. It's butane and propane mixed together. So then you're going to take an isobutane tank. It's my first time doing it. And you're going to very carefully screw it on because butane is flammable and you don't want flammable gases around where you're going to be starting a fire. So that's all you do to lock that in place. I recommend doing it from the bottom, not the top like I did, but doing it from the top is your standard instinct. Just so you know, I do have a fire extinguisher in the car, so if something does go wrong, I am prepared. Whenever you're working with fire, whether you're camping or whatever, always have an extinguisher with you. There are some great extinguishers. I will do a entire video on just putting out fires. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to boil some water in this. Just enough to make me a cup of tea in the Stanley. Now, when you're working with a 20-ounce coffee mug for tea or just like instant coffee or whatever, double or triple, because most of what the serving sizes for those is 8 ounces. This is three times that, almost 3 times that, 2.5 to 3 times. So increase by 2.5 to 3 times your amounts. So now what we're going to do is this is your power, fuel, and this is your lighter. Alright, it is started. I always like to start off low and then work my way up slowly. So that is going to sit there and boil while I keep talking and showing you a couple other things. The other item I got, which is the BioLite cook stove. It comes with a coffee pot that you can buy an adapter for to make it a French press. I have not done that yet. It's $15 on Amazon. It is on my wish list. And the way you open this is you just keep flipping the cardboard until you get all the way around to open it. I probably could have found an easier way to do it, but that's how I did it. In it, it came with 2 bags. The APG came with its own bag. And also, I got a nice little light that plugs into the front of the BioLite. And because I got the deluxe, it also comes with a grill top. Comes with its own charger because it does have a rechargeable battery that you can use either to run the fan for your burner, or you can use it as a battery backup for your cell phone. But the beauty thing is this unit can also be used to charge your cell phone. It also came with a little, they call it a bowl or a cup. I'm not a fan of the design of it, so I use it more to protect the inside of my pot when I'm storing my heater in it. All right, so this is your pot. This is your electronics part of the heater. That's your fan, that's your battery, that's everything. This here is where you put the wood. This is your chimney, all that stuff, fun stuff. What you're going to do is you're going to put it in like this, made it to the bottom, open up the feet, and there we go. Now what we need to do is get fuel for it. Now I thought ahead and I got myself some standard kindling that I normally use for starting a fire for this little unit. I like leaves because they're like paper. They burn hot and quick. They get your fire going. Pine cones are always good, so if while you're cooking while you're camping, you see a bunch of pine cones, pick them up, let them dry out on a rock, or if you have a campfire going, put them next to the campfire. Same thing with some twigs. And when you're first starting out, you want to leave plenty of airspace, even though this does have a blower, so you don't have to blow on the fire. And then it also comes with starter sticks. And while I was sitting here talking, this has already boiled. So that rapidly boils. It gets hot fast. It advertises that it's designed to boil quick using a small amount of fuel. Based on the design on the bottom, it's got a fluted ring so that it spreads the heat out around the water faster. All right, now back to our fire stick. So we're going to put that in. And we're going to light it. But first what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this around so you all can see. So we're going to turn on the fan. Battery's kind of low. Let's see if it turns on. Okay, it's not going to turn on. I purposely didn't charge it because I wanted to see how well its charging features worked. So what I'm doing is I'm using a stick lighter because I can get it down in and keep my hands away from the flame and the chimney. And I'm just moving the fire around a little bit, try and get as much material lit as possible to get it going. Okay, it's getting some charge. Let's see if... No, not enough to... There we go. Fan's working. So it's not a long press, it's just press once, the light will come on, then you keep pressing it to turn the fan on. And now I got a nice little cyclone going in here. So I could boil some more water, make some more tea, but you just saw me do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around. And we're going to hook up the grill. Obviously take the plastic cover off before we put it near fire. Okay, so this is going to be one of those teachable moments. I normally carry gloves when I'm doing this sort of stuff. I forgot them at home today. Always wear gloves when you're working with fire. Even if they're not fire gloves, just something to keep your hands safe, because to feed this I have to pull up this. And I don't know if it's coming up on camera very well, but there's a nice cyclone of flame coming up right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it a little bit. Again, just take some twigs, throw it in there. The one thing I do like about this idea is if you run out of propane, you don't feel like lugging a propane tank, or your isobutane runs out, there's always pine cones, twigs, and sticks laying around. All right, so that is going. We have fuel. It's charging from the heat right now, and we're gonna let that heat up for a minute, and we're gonna make hot dogs. But, you know, I don't know about you, but hot dogs by themselves just isn't as tasty without some chili or some beans. So I picked up some chili, and I've got my trusty flashlight multi-tool with the can opener on it. So we're gonna pop this open. And this is probably gonna be a time lapse because this is gonna take me a minute. Welcome back, campers. Sorry I had some technical difficulties. I'm going to finish off the review of these items and get them and give you some thoughts. It's been about a month since I started this video series, and I can give you some additional feedback. So I'm going to start with the Stanley Travel mug. I love this thing, use it all the time. When I last used it for that video, I hadn't pre-warmed it, and I filled it at 6 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock the next morning, it was still warm. It wasn't hot, but it was warm. It was above room temperature, and it was still tasty. So the Stanley thermos, which I will have a link down below for, are great. I really do like these Stanley Travel mugs, and the fact that it's got a lock so it doesn't accidentally pop open and leak is great for me. So this is 10 out of 10. I love this thing. All right, this is my APG portable cook stove. As you can see, I can just about keep a 250 I think this is 250 ounce 250 gram isobutane canister in here. It's a little tight though, lid doesn't quite fit on. I'm sure if I got a smaller can, I think they come in 100 grams as well, that will fit fine. The heater works fine. I haven't used this since the video. One thing I will mention is about 20 minutes after I boiled the water in it, I just took and drank straight out of it. I would not recommend using this as a giant coffee cup because I'm not sure about how much weight these handles could hold, like drinking out of it. But it's kind of designed for you to be able to drink out of it. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see the lid. It's got a strainer, so like if you're cooking noodles, you can strain the excess water out. Or if you're using it as a giant coffee mug, it does have a for sipping out of. So I give this about an 8 out of 10. It's fairly well made. It was relatively inexpensive. I can fit it all in one place, and it makes a good little travel unit. All right, and whoops. So, and then we have our friend, the Stanley pot. I did like how this worked. The only issue I had with it is probably partially because of the heater I used for this. I used this small portable heater. Didn't have a lot of clearance for the flame. If at all possible, try to get as far away from the flame as possible. This was a little closer than I would have liked. I did get some food burnt on to the bottom, and it did discolor the bottom of the inside a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I haven't really used the cups because last time I cooked with it I just used a plate, but the cups do seem like they'll work fine. I have a lot of Stanley stuff, so I do like it. This is another probably an 8 or a 9. It's got a lot of features. Again, this has the vent holes, A for if you're boiling water, and B if you want to pour out excess water because you're making like something with noodles or something. And in that video I also showed myself cooking with this little isobutane burner. I picked this up for emergency either keeping the car or keeping with my camping gear in case I was having issues with my propane or I ran out of propane and I needed an emergency fuel source. I rather like this as a backup burner. It's small, it's portable. The only issue is that in order to properly store it, you have to store it on, which means when you take it out, you have to remember to make sure it's off before you put it on the isobutane canister. Otherwise, you'll be leaking isobutane while you're setting things up. But for convenience and everything, this is I'd rank this around a 7. It's pretty good. Not overly versatile, and I wouldn't use it on things that you don't want too close to the flame. It'd probably be great with a cast iron, because cast iron is a lot more durable, or it's a sacrificial, like if you're heating up right in the tin can that your food was in, it'll be fine. Just when you're cooking with that, make sure you're constantly stirring, because things will stick to the bottom of whatever you're cooking with. And this is what you guys have been really waiting for, is the BioLite. Again, I haven't really used it since the last time, since I did the video. I do like it. It's nice, heavily built. The battery in it takes a charge overnight. Once you get used to it, it's very easy to use. The buttons are such that you are fairly easy. You just click once and you can cycle through all the and then when you want to turn off, you just press and hold. It does have a safety feature that you could not turn off the fan if it's in fire. It'll go to low, but it will not go off. It recharged fairly well, even just off the fire. The only downside is you're working with flammable combustible material like wood, or you can get pellets for these as well. Use it like a pellet stove. And the issue I had with that is that when I was done cooking, I still had a fire on my hands. So I ended up pouring it out on concrete and then dousing it with a bunch of water. But it does work fairly well. This is, I'm thinking about trying to take just this unit camping with the burner and cooking off of just this for a weekend. I mean, it's very versatile. You have your coffee pot, your heat source, and everything all in one. And then with the attachment, you have a portable grill, and you don't necessarily have to bring fuel with you because wood is everywhere, and you just have to bring enough to get it lit. Okay, thank you for watching. That is the end of this review of these items. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment down below. I will have links to all these items down below as well. And remember, as always, as long as you're having fun, you're doing camping right.